Glenn Beck thinks that Rick Perry might have caused the flooding in Texas. Oh, that's interesting. Now, let's listen to this conversation had on The Blaze, and let's hear a little bit more about that.
And we should be clear, we haven't really talked about this, but both of these ridiculous torrential downpours and flooding and the preceding drought, both the fault of global warming.
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you.
We have
Stu.
not talked about it.
Thank you.
I mean, the drought, which was blamed on global warming incessantly, now all the rain is also being blamed on global warming.
As we've always said, no matter what happens.
We're officially way out of that drought.
We're
way out of that drought. We started digging our way out of that drought about 3 years ago, but that's definitely over. I was up in the farm country, up in Idaho this last weekend, and it was a sloppy mess up there. And they had just 5 weeks ago, they had a fast for rain because they were in a drought, and it started raining 5 weeks ago.
That's interesting.
Didn't stop.
Because if Rick Perry announces that he's running for president, which is expected, of course, he, in 2012, I think it was, or 2011, was praying for rain here. Will he get blamed for the success of the rain and the flooding?
That we started ending that drought with that fast. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Yeah.
And
he was mocked for it anyway.
He was mocked for it, and he went ahead and did it. And that was the beginning of the end of the drought. I mean, we started having rain right after that. And this state was a desert.
Fuck, man. Really? Yes, he prayed for rain, and then they got flooded out. So are you saying God miscalculated? Interesting. I thought God can't do that because he's supposed to be fucking God. Oh man, this is fun. I love how they're like, well, first they blamed the drought on global warming, and now they're blaming the flooding on global warming. You know the thing about climate change is that the climate starts changing rapidly. That shit happens. I'm not saying that you can directly attribute both events to climate change, like directly tie a link, right? But there's definitely a lot of contribution here, and the fact that climate change does affect global patterns, right? And the fact that you can now have different extremes, more extreme drought, longer drought. There was already droughts in Texas way before climate change, and there will be way afterwards. It's the fact that that climate change makes those droughts longer, last longer. And also, when there's rains, it possibly makes storms stronger. That's what climate change does. Not God, not Jesus. Praying to Jesus doesn't do anything. Okay? It certainly isn't like a rain dance. It's like a Christian rain dance. That shit doesn't work, man. That's ridiculous. Glenn Beck, always ridiculous. This is a guy that believes that praying to God, holding a prayer rally or a fast, creates rain and ends drought, but doesn't believe in scientists. That doesn't believe in 97% of climate science. Climate scientists all over the world, not just in the United States, all over the world, are saying that no, this does have an impact on climate change. This doesn't have an impact on certain weather events like droughts and floods. And here's Glenn Beck over here saying, no, that's God.